Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Abigail Cloutier alongside Monica Kurjan. Today we're going to be talking about virtual fall commencement, the return of YSU Unity, and more, so stay tuned.
JambarTV in Youngstown, Ohio. This is your student news. With Kelsey Norris, Monica Kurjan, Gabrielle Owens, Abigail Cloutier, Thomas Kushner, and Ben Lulai. This is JambarTV.
This fall, commencement will be virtual. Some graduating seniors express their frustration and disappointment with the decision. Others signed petitions for an in-person ceremony. An email from Provost Brian Smith states that YSU follows health department recommendations for coronavirus safety. The event will feature pre-recorded speeches by Smith, YSU President Jim Tressel, and the deans. Graduating senior Alyssa Lutker shares her thoughts on a virtual ceremony.
So personally, for me, I'm not super upset about having a virtual commencement, especially given the circumstances with COVID. With that said, I know that my family's kind of bummed. And also, I can understand how having a graduation ceremony is really important to some people and some families. So I can see how emotionally that's really upsetting for those families.
The online ceremony is set for Sunday, December 13th at 2 p.m.
The student group Ysunity is returning to campus after a year-long hiatus. The group is for those who are part of or support the LGBTQ community. Jambar reporter Aileen Blaine has more.
Ysunity disappeared last year due to waning interest, but new leadership brings it back. Its return means there will be a safe space for more individuals on campus.
We are, as a campus, prioritizing the experiences of more marginalized communities, saying like, you matter, we like that you're here, and we support you.
In the past, the organization was involved in things like Trans Day of Silence and Coming Out Day, and it hosted an annual drag show open to the community. It also offered safe zone training for allies. Ysunity President Stephen Miller says he wants to grow the organization.
Our main goal is to create a more inclusive campus for everyone, including straight individuals, and to build on the relationship between the LGBTQ plus community and our straight allies and the rest of campus.
Students can learn more on the Ysunity Instagram and Facebook pages. I'm Aileen Blaine, reporting for JambarTV.
Labor strikes in the Youngstown area are nothing new. The steel industry, the biggest in the area for many years, faced many difficult battles between employees and executives throughout its history. The biggest was the Little Steel Strike in 1937. Workers set up picket lines in front of the factory in a fight for higher wages and better working conditions. At least 18 people died and more than 300 were injured. Paul Grilly, founder of TheRushJungle.com, uses his website to preserve steel industry history in the Valley. He said the strikes were war, but gave him perspective.
It's taught me a lot about, the power of one versus the power of a group as a whole. Mm-hmm. And I hope people don't lose sight of that, because if you just give in and bow down to the company or the government, if you band together, then you really have a voice.
Throughout October, Andrews Student Recreation and Wellness Center held the Pars for Penguins program. The golfing initiative gave students a chance to escape online workout options. Though the program is normally only a day, Rec Center Associate Director Ryan McNicholas decided to expand it.
So the Pars for Penguins is just basically a way for students to get out, get some physical activity, and still stay safe in the pandemic. It is a collaborative effort between us and the city of Youngstown and the Henry Stanwell Golf Course to, again, provide students a discounted rate on golf at Stanwell Golf Course.
McNicholas hopes to hold this month-long event again so more students can participate.
Several fast food restaurants near campus offer scholarships to employees in college. Jambar reporter Krista Ritz has more.
Taco Bell, Chipotle, and Chick-fil-A are among restaurants that offer scholarships to their employees. Since there are 3 locations on campus, this is a great way for students to connect with these opportunities.
Gail McCullough, owner of Chick-fil-A in Poland, encourages students to apply.
This college scholarship, it's they can get $2,500 or there's a $25,000 scholarship also, and this is done on a nationwide basis. The $25,000, I think they give away, I'll say 40 of those a year, and the $2,500 is pretty much open to most team members in the chain.
Student employees must complete specific requirements to receive the scholarships.
You know, they want people to help out in the community, help out with their schools or churches, and reach out any way they can in the community.
Along with Chick-fil-A, Chipotle's tuition reimbursement allows student employees to receive $5,250 each for schooling.
It's really great. It's a reimbursement, so it goes straight into your bank account. I think that's a really great incentive, as long as the hours are manageable with what you're doing.
Eligible student employees can apply for these scholarships on the Chick-fil-A and Chipotle websites.
I'm Krista Ritz for JambarTV.
The Youngstown Symphony returns to the stage at the Dior Center. Their first in-person concert of the season is November 14th. It is dedicated to their conductor, Randall Fleischer, who died unexpectedly this August. YSU music professor Michael Strauss will feature a viola solo he originally prepared with Fleischer. The symphony will also play selected Christmas songs. The musicians will follow social distancing protocols. Tickets are available on the Dior Performing Arts Center website. Next, Thomas Kushner brings us the latest YSU coronavirus statistics right from campus.
Youngstown State University reported 19 new cases of coronavirus Monday. This statistic reflects a steady increase in weekly cases. 15 of the latest cases are students, most of which live in off-campus housing, and off-campus does include university apartments, such as the Courtyards, the Edge, and even Buchner Hall, the women's dorm. 4 of the cases are also attributed to university employees, and at this time, YSU is not disclosing whether that includes faculty, administration, or other forms of university employment. For more information, check the YSU Coronavirus Dashboard, which updates every Monday, and the Ohio Department of Health. After the break, Kelsey Norris sits down with Krayshana Jackson to discuss the election, so stay tuned.
Try some exercise.
Wait, what? What's going on right now?
Yeah, man, exercise.
I don't know. I don't know if I should even be talking to you right now.
It's got lots of benefits.
Okay.
The benefits of exercise include increased levels of energy, higher quality of sleep, better muscle and bone strength, improved memory, and clearer skin.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
As a former quarterback here at Youngstown State, I understand what it takes to be the very best. By becoming a member of the Penguin Club, you can help provide the support necessary for all YSU student athletes to be their very best. You'll receive great benefits like priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality rooms. To join the Penguin Club, call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com.
The environment in the hospital can be very intense for a patient. Being able to put a smile on their face brightens up my day. I go to Youngstown State University and my passion is nursing. What I love about studying nursing is that it takes you out of the classroom and into the lab. It's really hands-on. The professors here push you to be your absolute best, so if you want it, you gotta work hard for it. I am so excited about my future. I'm Shantiana and I am why I'm proud.
Welcome back to Jambar TV. I'm Kelsey Norris here with a special guest, Dr. Krishana Jackson-Leftwich of the Politics and International Policies Department. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, so my first question for you, just in light of the recent election, we're all thinking about it, what factors could impact Mahoning County's flip from blue to red this year?
I know, right? I was reading about that, and they said in the past, oh my gosh, since 1972, Mahoning County has always gone blue. And so it really got me to thinking about some of the issues that are plaguing the county in terms of joblessness and poverty and the Youngstown City schools. And it made me wonder if what's happening is they're saying we need a different type of leadership. You know, the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And so maybe you look at what the voting is telling us is that they don't feel as though the Democratic Party has been able to offer the changes that they feel like that this county needs.
Mm-hmm. So another hot topic this year has been the mail-in ballots. How will that affect everything going on?
Well, currently it's a longer process to count the votes, but we're also seeing a lot of discrepancies, right? I've heard about some issues in terms of the ballots. I think it was 300,000 ballots that they were scanned in but weren't scanned out. So they're ordering the Postal Service to the Board of Elections to kind of look for these ballots, then having to try to count these ballots, knowing where to turn your ballot in, because some people get the mail-in ballots and want to take them to the Board of Elections, and then some of them put them in the Postal Service. But a few months ago, the Trump administration kind of ordered slowing down of the Postal Service, getting rid of some of the counting machines, and now we're relying on the Postal Service to get these ballots. So you can see like kind of a detrimental effect, and the fact that, you know, we're still kind of waiting to count because we have to wait on the ballots.
Absolutely. So another hot topic that has been online has been about the role of the Electoral College and its function in democracy. What would you respond to that? How does that represent Ohio's opinion, do you think?
So I'm going to use my politically correct term about the Electoral College and say that it's outdated. And so the problem with the Electoral College, when you talk about getting rid of the Electoral College, people get concerned because states that have huge population, like California and Texas, people are like, well, they'll just control the election. But for the way it's set up originally, the people voted for the electors, and they voted for the president. So now what's happening is the Electoral College is determined based off of the popular vote. My opinion and my suggestion is kind of an incremental one, is why not look at more of a proportional representation? So instead of, for Ohio, for instance, you had 47 to 52% that went to Trump. Why not look at using proportional representation where 45% of the electoral votes would go to Biden and then 52% would go to Trump? And if more states use what we consider proportional representation as opposed to a winner take all, that it could be more representative of the popular vote and of the population, and people might not be as discouraged if they live in a blue state or a red state based off of their ideologies.
Yeah, we definitely saw that with the last election too, with the dissent about the Electoral College. But going forward, how would you encourage citizens to participate in civic processes that aren't major elections?
I think it's important to know the process, like kind of what you're saying. And so when we get to the place where, like, if we're unhappy with the Electoral College, or for instance, if we're unhappy with the political candidates, that maybe we look at joining different interest groups or looking at possibly just running for local offices themselves, or working on a local campaign, or getting involved on a smaller level, or with like state campaigns that could maybe make a change and could really work at how this process is going.
Yeah, and kind of to get back to the local angle. So how will having a Democratic representative for the district affect the Republicans if they win the House?
So our Democratic representative has been in Congress for a very long time, and so I feel as though he is very skilled with working with Republicans and with Democrats. And so while it should be a compromise, I feel like it will be okay in terms of if they're able to really work together and play nicely. Now, there could be gridlock. We've seen this. We've seen our electors and our Congress and even our presidency become very partisan. And so we see where there could be some some hesitation and some infighting within there. But my hope is that we have a skilled Democratic representative that has been doing this for a long time. So I have complete faith that he will get things done like he's been doing for us.
Yeah, I'm sure we could talk for a lot longer, but we have to wrap it up. So that's all the time we have for this segment. Up next, Gabrielle Owens will have our arts and entertainment update, so stay tuned.
Growing up, I love figuring out how things work, putting things together. I love being able to come up with an idea, design it, just the whole process of creating things. I go to school here at Youngstown State and my passion is 3D design. I chose YSU because all the equipment, the research being done here, it's like a playground for me. I'm Alex and I'm Y and proud.
You're looking to your future, preparing for your goals, and they're closer than you think. Because here, success is part of the plan. It's a place where academic and social opportunities are meant to prepare you for life, not just the next 4 years. You'll be equipped to face new challenges and turn hard work into a career. You're ready for your success to take root. And here's where it starts. We are Youngstown State University, and proud. You're not waiting to see what the world has in store for you. It's more about what you have in store for the world. All you need is the opportunity. All you need are the resources of a large university and the advantages of a personalized academic setting, where you can experience new worlds in the arts and sciences, business, and education, and make them your own. We are where you shape your future. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
As a former quarterback here at Youngstown State, I understand what it takes to be the very best. By becoming a member of the Penguin Club, you can help provide the support necessary for all YSU student athletes to be their very best. You'll receive great benefits like priority season tickets, game day parking, and access to hospitality rooms. To join the Penguin Club, call 330-941-1YSU or go to ysusports.com.
Welcome back to JambarTV. I'm Gabrielle Owens with your arts and entertainment news. The NCAA has many teams with fun nicknames and mascots, yet there is only one Penguin-themed squad at Youngstown State University. Our famous mascot, Pete the Penguin, has led YSU since 1964. At one point, we even had a live penguin. We talked to a former Pete about her experience representing Pete.
Some of the kids started chanting YSU, and I was like egging them on, trying to get them to go. And before you knew it, the entire student body was chanting YSU. And I remember Coach Tressel, now President Tressel, saying to me later, "How did you do that?" And it was just so fun to be able to motivate all of these different people to feel the same way I did about YSU.
This semester, YSU art majors put their skills to the test. They're painting a mural showcasing a ribbon of memories of Youngstown's history. Just a few blocks from campus, Jambar reporter Zach Moska has more.
Lit Youngstown has teamed up with Youngstown State University to create this mural, which will honor the history of Youngstown, past, present, and future. Residents are encouraged to submit their own memories of Youngstown to represent all generations and give the mural a sense of personalization. Art professor Dragana Cerniak is overseeing the production of this mural and says she is very proud of the students' hard work and dedication.
Just getting that energy from students back and their enthusiasm and really readiness to work over the class time. Many of them came evenings to stay till 9 p.m. has been really fulfilling, made my semester.
Some students working on the mural, such as Chloe Miklos, say they are happy to provide for the community and be involved in such a big project.
I've never been a part of such a large-scale public art piece before, so it's really fun to be able to work on something that will hopefully last there for many years to come.
Production for this mural will continue throughout the semester and will continue through future semesters, and students have even submitted proposals for future murals. With JambarTV, I'm Zach Moska.
Andrews Avenue isn't the only spot in Youngstown getting a fresh look. In 2008, the old State Theater building in downtown Youngstown was demolished. Its absence left a hole in the city. Recently, a local artist made the move to fill that void.
The 2008 demolition of the old State Theater has left a gaping hole in downtown Youngstown. That's why local artist and founder of Steeltown Studios, Bob Barker Jr., decided to fill that hole with a mural dedicated to the State Theater as well as the history of Youngstown. Barco says this project has two phases, the first being a painted mural and the second being a banner depicting Barco's Here in Youngstown mural. Organizations like Leadership Mahoning Valley and Youngstown Cityscape has pitched in to help this project come into fruition, and many sponsors donated as well.
In this case, we did individual sponsorships at $100 a piece. Folks were able to do a duet sponsorship for $200, a trio for $300, a quartet for $400, and then we had a corporate sponsorship for $500 and a premier sponsorship for $1,000.
Barco says this project is a way to repay the city of Youngstown for appreciating his art over the years. With JambarTV, I'm Zach Mosca.
After the break, Ben Lulai brings us a YSU sports update, so stay tuned.
Growing up, I love figuring out how things work, putting things together. I love being able to come up with an idea, design it, just the whole process of creating things. I go to school here at Youngstown State and my passion is 3D design. I chose YSU because all the equipment, the research being done here, it's like a playground for me. I'm Alex and I'm Y and proud.
The communication department is much more than media or delivering a speech. The YSU Communication Department offers programs in telecommunication, journalism, and communication studies. We inspire creativity. We encourage each student's passion. We explore new and advanced technologies that connect the human race. The communication programs at YSU ensure that every student is prepared and experienced for the outside workforce, for life after YSU. Join the Jambar and find your voice when you tell the next big story. Become a host of Rookery Radio and gain hands-on experience, or get involved with TV productions like Light the Wick, Penguin Rundown, and JambarTV. YSU's communication department is much more than a department, an education, or a degree. It's a home for passionate individuals, for students to find and pursue what they love.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared, and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
Welcome back to Jambar TV. I'm Ben Lulai. This offseason, YSU Baseball added 3 new transfers. They include junior pitchers Alex Cordona and Connor Johnson. They also acquired sophomore pitcher and designated hitter Andrew Russell.
Having good depth is extremely important. I do think all 3 of those guys, with Andrew being the exception, we'll see what happens with his eligibility for this year. But the rest of the other 2 guys, we recruited them to come in and help us right away.
The team is holding practices and scrimmages to get the new faces acclimated to the team. The YSU women's basketball team held their first official practice October 14th. As the team waits for their schedule to be announced, both the players and coaches are excited to be one step closer to starting their season.
It was super exciting to get everyone back on the court. We've been waiting for so long since we didn't have the whole summer to work out and get together as a team. So coming together a couple weeks ago as the first team practice, it was just so nice to get everyone back on the court and get ready for the season.
Oh, the team was really excited. With everything that's going on and all the question marks, whether you're going to have a season, not have a season, for us to be able to get going and get settled into practice, the team's really enjoying it.
This week in YSU sports history, we highlight the 2012 women's soccer team. They are the most successful team in program history, amassing a record 8 wins. They finished the season 8-9, including a 4-match winning streak to start the season. The 2012 team is top 5 in many offensive categories, but their calling card was defense. They never surrendered more than 2 goals in a match and own the record for the longest goals against average at 1.15. To read more about the 2012 YSU soccer team, pick up this week's Jambar or visit thejambar.com. Next, Penguin Rundown sends us over to the women's bowling team. The team became the first YSU sport to go back to play when they headed out for the Bearcat Hammer Open last week.
It's a little weird just because we're used to everybody else going on around us, but I don't know, it almost feels normal for us because it's our normal season at the same time. I think it's just our mentality, like what we push at practice is just stay in our game. So if you had one bad day like we did on Friday, you just get through it. So it's not a matter of like taking time off or anything, it's just like who we are at this point. We have to wear our masks all the time, so I am an asthmatic, so I keep it down, but like if I'm around other girls, I'll have it up. We're supposed to elbows or knuckles at most, like we're not supposed to touch hands. It just gets hard because like we all hang out all the time anyway, so we're just used to like sharing stuff, and we have to constantly remind ourselves to be like, oh wait, no. Just environment. I don't think necessarily competition is going to be too much different. Like we're not going to get to see some teams early on that we usually would, but we'll see them later. And I think the biggest change is like usually you have parents there like cheering you on or carrying your stuff from lane to lane, and now they're not there. So it was a little weird last week, but it wasn't crazy. Okay, so Bill O'Neill, because I really like the way his ball rolls. The way he rolls it on the lane is just, in my opinion, the best in the game. He gets it through the fronts well, it gets out to the spot naturally, and then it just reads the lane insanely.
Coach Doug Kaburski has completely changed the culture for the women's bowling team. In his first year, Kaburski transformed the team into a national contender. He was the first to name the NCAA Division I Coach of the Year by the National 10-Pin Coaches Association this past season. Kaburski talks about returning to play, the team's success in the first tournament, how the freshmen are fitting in, the addition of standout Nikki Mendez to the coaching staff, and the team's goals for the season.
It felt great. They have been working very hard, and the department's been working very hard, so it was good to finally see them out there and doing what they love to do. It definitely played a big role, working together not only on our games physically and mentally, but just chemistry-wise. I think all the work we did as a team, bonding in the off-season, really, I think, paid dividends, especially on Sunday. It was pretty fun to watch them really click right away. You could see a switch turn on, I think, midday Friday for both of them, really getting comfortable, gaining a lot of confidence early. So we knew they were going to be 2 good ones, and it was just fun to see them really hit the ground running the first tournament. Yeah, it's already, I think, playing a big role in our success. She's very, very intelligent, great communicator, very positive, and that gives me an extra set of eyes. So, somebody that I can really bounce ideas off of every day, somebody that sees things that I might not see, and the ladies really respect her as well. So it's huge for us. Well, we're really focused on just growing together, continuing to elevate, and we think, the scores will kind of take care of themselves, but we have aspirations to go all the way and to win it all. So, we're very ambitious in what we want to do. We don't really think too much about results. We're just kind of process-oriented right now, but we think we should have our eyes on the big.
That wraps up this week's episode of Jambar TV. For more news, arts, and sports, pick up a copy of the Jambar or tune in to our next episode. Stay safe, and we'll see you next time.
Support for Jambar TV is provided in part by the YSU Foundation and the Jane F. Lamb Charitable Foundation. Thank you.
YSU English invites you to explore the more than 100 classes we have to offer. Students have the chance to read the classics and to discover classics in the making, to encounter the many voices in literature, and explore their own voices creatively. Students can develop practical skills for the professional marketplace in technical and business writing classes. They can study linguistics, education, and second language acquisition, and even film and screenwriting. Come see what YSU English has to offer you.